Hey guys, so today we are looking at your Unit 3, lesson number 2. Again, if you haven't watched the video, make sure you do go back and you do take care of it at this particular time. What we're going to do today is we're going to jump right into the classwork. We're going to edit it a little bit, so that's why I wanted to make sure that we started there and you can actually see what I'm talking about rather than me just trying to describe everything. So get out your classwork packet. All right. You know it's your classwork packet because it says da, 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 your classwork. All right. So yeah, Unit 3, Topic A, classwork. Um, your expressions. All right. We've taken care of that. We've talked about using that distributive property. All right. And so now what we're getting into here is in our lesson 2, we're seeing a little bit more division like we talked about yesterday. And the main thing is we're writing them out as fractions. So here's what we want out of you. All right. Let's go and look at problem 1. First of all, we want to rewrite it as a fraction. All right. So we do want you to realize that, hey, this is 8x divided by 2. Fractions is something that we need. So everything that's to the left of the division symbol goes on top. Everything to the right of the division symbol is going to go on the bottom. The directions about the verifying, I don't need you to do that. Okay, we're going to talk about this later on. So for all these guys, don't worry about what it says W. I just want you to simplify the expression. I think on the answer sheets, I have it all verified for you, but that's just because we change it from time to time of what I'm asking you to do. For you guys, I just need you to simplify. So the whole idea here is when we simplify, yes, we can do division. 8 divided by 2 is 4. All right. So it's just 4x. Now, technically, we're dividing them both by 2. And if you divide them both by 2, you'd get 4x over 1. But what happens when you divide something by a 1? Yeah, it's the whole amount. So that's why our winning answer here is just your 4x. All right. We'll look at one more here. 18 divided by the 6w. And the reason why I'm focusing on this one is again, we're looking at our numbers and you're like, hey, we can divide them both by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Here's the thing though is, where's the W at? Downstairs. Yeah, you can't move it upstairs. Remember on this previous problem how we saw that 4x over 1? All right, that 4x. See how it's upstairs in the numerator? So that's why my answer is 4x. My answer here is 3 over W. Okay, so let's look at this a little bit more. The reason why, and to kind of show you here is we'll show the work rather than just doing it all mentally here. We're dividing both our numbers by a 6. So that's 3 and that's a 1. So 3 divided by 1 is 3 whole. All right. So you can kind of see it is really 3 and then 1 over 1w. The thing though is we don't put a 1 in front of a letter because when we ask it there is how many are there? Well, there's one letter, 1. So we don't put the 1 in front of it when there already is one of them. So that's what we need to watch for is where's your variable at. If your variable is in the denominator, it needs to stay in the denominator. If your variable is up in the numerator, okay, then it becomes that whole amount. Because again, if we backtrack and we write it out as a fraction, we're going to see it is up there. All right. So yeah, so we're going to have you take care of letter C, letter D, letter E, letter F. You just don't need to plug everything in. All right, as in plugging in the x equals, the -2. We're not worried about that. We're not worried about that. We're just worried about this. All right, get your answer key out. Make sure that you're checking them at section. Okay, the other thing that we want to watch for is the phrasing here. We're going back to our expressions, all right? When it's a sum, all right, sum means to add the answer to the addition problem. We're just adding the two together. And the idea here is the only way we can add things together is that phrase of like terms. So same variable with the same exponents. So if I look here, I see an x, I see an x. Those are the same, which means we can add together. So -3 plus 8 is just 5. Think of x as being a pencil. So if you got -3 pencils, combine it with 8 pencils, hey, I got 5 pencils. If they were different letters, they represent different things. So you say like the x would be a pine cone, and y would be a bunny rabbit. What happens when you combine a bunny rabbit together with a pine cone? You can't. I mean, it might end badly for the bunny rabbit, depending on what's going on. But anyway, hey, we can't combine those things together. But again, if we had 3 fluffy bunnies bouncing around, and then we had 5 more fluffy bunnies bouncing around. We could say, wow, look at the 8 fluffy bunnies. So again, we need that same letter. And so that's that whole idea of like terms. All right. The one that we do want to look at here is letter C. All right. And this is a subtraction problem because of that word difference that's there. But it's when 6h is subtracted from 2h minus 4. So because it's subtracted from, that's going to switch our order around. We're starting with 2h minus 4, and then we're subtracting 6h. So here's what we want to watch for. All right. We can move things around in an addition and subtraction problem as long as we keep the sign. So this 6h, if you look to the left, yeah, that subtraction means it's negative. So I can rewrite it as 2h minus 6h minus 4. As long as the sign travels with it to the left, we're fine. And some of you guys aren't going to need to do the rewrite. You can just see the 2h, you can see the negative 6h, and then just combine them together. For some of you, you're going to need to write them out because you're not going to carry that sign. So 2h minus 6h, that's a negative 4h, and then your minus 4. So again, that's another key thing from your notes that we saw. One last problem that we do want to end up talking about here, and that's letter D. All right. Ooh. This one even bothers kids in Algebra 1 still. So we see it now in 7th grade because you're going to work with more as an 8th grader, as a 6th grader, excuse me. You're going to see it more as a 7th grader. And then when you do Algebra 1 as an 8th grader, you're going to be knee deep in it. So watch this. Find the difference. So it's a subtraction problem. When negative 3n minus 7 is subtracted from. Okay, so we've talked about this subtracted from, how that makes us switch the order around. Now here's the thing. This is a package group, and this is the package group. Now you might be saying, Mr. Savage, you used parentheses before. What's the deal? Well, let's go back up to what I was looking at. There was only one person. So because there's only one person, we don't need to wrap it in parentheses. We don't, remember the parentheses keep them as a group. There's only one person. We don't have a group yet. All right. So watch what's going to be happening here is I'm going to have to switch the order around. N plus 4. All right. And all of that minus the negative 3n minus 7. Now here's the part we got to be aware of. This subtraction sign goes with everyone. So one of the phrases that you hear is, hey, you need to distribute that negative. Again, this subtraction sign goes with everyone. Think about when you did a problem, 329 minus 111. You did a 9 minus a 1. You did the 2 minus the 1. You did the 3 minus the 1. That subtraction sign went with all of those numbers. You just didn't go 9 minus 1 is 8, and hey, 2 plus 1, let's add. No. That subtraction sign went with everyone. Same thing here. Because it's tougher to boom, 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 all right, to do that with your negatives, what we encourage is distribute the negative. So n plus 4. And because we distribute the negative here, that's a double negative. That's a plus 3n. We distribute the negative, a double negative. That's a plus 7. Now we're going to combine our like terms together. So I see the n with the positive 3n, so that's a 4n. I see the positive 4 with the positive 7, plus 11. Really check your answer keys for this. Okay, and what I did is we have them organized for you on Teams. All right, a specific channel where you can click on answer keys and it'll take you right there to the site and it's got all the answer keys that are there. You just got to make sure you're grabbing the right one and packet or unit 3. All right, topic A. All right. So just make sure you're matching things up as you're looking at your answer keys as you go through it, because that's going to be an important part. Otherwise, you're going to come in, you're going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. You need to know whether it's like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, or yeah, I see what's going on here. Again, we got to start somewhere with it. All right, so let's keep on seeing what we've got here regarding everything else. Let me go through. So we're going to take care of E, F, G. All right. We like question number 3. All right, because they're asking you to write out an expression. We're going to start practicing doing that there. And then, yeah, all right. They're talking about area. Remember, area is length times width. They want you to write an expression to find the area of the rectangle. Use your expression to find the height, and that height would be that up and down that we're looking at here. All right, there's your height. Remember, how tall are you? That would be your height, so you're straight up and down. So these are good quality problems here. Again, you need to check your answers though, people. You've got to know what's going on, as in, hey, am I getting this? And there's nothing wrong with getting a wrong answer, changing your answer, and going, ah, I see what you're doing. All right, enjoy.